Yeah, okay. In the previous class, we have discussed about what is testing and the purpose of testing, productivity and quality in the software, and how you are going to check that productivity and quality in the software, and some dictonomies here. Here we have discussed about the testing versus debugging, and this is something related to testing versus debugging. And this is the model for testing. In the previous class, we have discussed that what is the environment, what is the environmental model, and what is the program, what is the program model, and what are the tests and what is the outcome, and about some nature and psychology and some bug model. Next, in this class we have discussed about the environment here, and about the program up to bugs we have discussed. Then in this class, let us see what are the importance of the bugs here. The importance of the bugs depends upon the frequency, correction cost, and installation cost, and the consequences. The first one is frequency. Frequency is the how often does the kind of bug occur. What is the kind of bug that we are occurring here? That is the frequency. We have to pay more attention to the frequent bug types. We have to pay more attention whether what type of bugs we are getting. We have to pay attention there. Next one, correction cost. How much cost it required to correct that particular bug. For example, here we are having the sum of two factors, that is the cost of discovery, and second one is cost of correction. These costs go up dramatically whenever we are developing the software. In the software development cycle, the bug is already discovered, so the correction cost also depends upon the system size. See, whenever you are developing a software life cycle, sometimes a bug arises. It is having the chance to erase the bug, but it is not sure that we can rectify that bug very easily. For that, we have to spend some cost of amount for to rectify that bug. Okay, for that, to rectify that bug, you need to install some type of software also. For that software, we should keep some installation cost. That installation cost depend upon the number of installations. Okay, that cost mainly how many types of installations that we are doing here there. That depends upon number of installations. Okay, it is a small for a single user program, and it is more for a distributed systems. If there are distributed systems, then you have to install more number of softwares. But if it is a single system, we can install a small number of softwares, that is negligible. But fixing one bug and distributing the fix could exceed the entire system. See, if you are going to fix one bug and distributing that bug will could exceed the entire system's development cost. Okay, then what are the consequences related to that particular bug means, some type of consequences, like the if it is a reasonable bug, he can give the importance based upon this formula. Importance is equal to frequency into correction cost plus installation cost plus consequential cost. Okay, ఇంపార్టెన్స్ మీన్స్ ఇంపార్టెన్స్ అంటే మన ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ ఎంత ఉందో కౌంట్ చేసి దాంతోపాటు కరెక్షన్ కాస్ట్ని ఇన్స్టలేషన్ కాస్ట్ని కాన్సిక్వెన్షియల్ కాస్ట్ని మూడింటిని యాడ్ చేసుకొని దాన్ని మనం సిస్టమ్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీతో మల్టిప్లై చేసుకుంటే అదే మనకు వచ్చిన ఇంపార్టెన్స్ అనమాట. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ దీస్ ఆర్ ద సమ్ ఆఫ్ ద కాన్సిక్వెన్సెస్ ఆఫ్ ద బగ్. ఓకే, the consequences of the bug may be: first one, a mild; second one, moderate; third one, annoying; fourth one, disturbing; and fifth one is serious. See, if you are trying to do the this type of consequences, this mild, moderate, annoying, disturbing, serious. See, these are the very, if it is a mild, it is very easy for a particular person to do that particular bug will be rectified by that particular person. ఇప్పుడు బగ్ అనేది మైల్డ్గా ఉందనుకోండి, మనం రెక్టిఫై చేయడానికి అంటే మన సాఫ్ట్వేర్ డెవలప్మెంట్ లైఫ్ సైకిల్లో మన కోడింగ్ అనేది పర్ఫామ్ చేసేటప్పుడు అక్కడ మనకు ఒక బగ్ రేజ్ అయ్యింది. అది ఆ బగ్ యొక్క ఇంపాక్ట్ అనేది దాని మీద మైల్డ్గా ఉన్నప్పుడు మనకి దాన్ని రెక్టిఫై చేయడానికి ఈజీగా ఉంటుంది. బట్ ఎప్పుడైతే అది హెవీ అవుతుందో అప్పుడు మనకి వెరీ డిఫికల్ట్ అవుతుంది అనమాట. ఆ టాస్క్ అనేది వెరీ డిఫికల్ట్ అవుతుంది. మనం ఏం చేయాలి? వాట్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు డూ హియర్? you have to perform this moderate operations and outputs that are misleading for the redundant. Next one, what are the impacts on the bugs? Then what are the system's performance, whether it is annoying or not, whether it is disturbing. If it is moderate, what we are going to do. If it is mild, what we are going to do. See, if it is mild, the symptoms of the bug offend us aesthetically, and misspelled output or misaligned printout will get. The symptoms of the bug may be gently, but it will be misspelled output or a misaligned output. Next, if it is moderate, the outputs are misleading or redundant. The bug impacts the system's performance. Okay. Next one, if it is annoying, the system's behavior because of the bug dehumanizing, names and truncated or orbitally modified. These names and truncated or these are orbitally modified anamata. Next one, if it is disturbing, it refuses to the handle, legitimate or organized transactions. The ATM won't give you the money. The credit card will be declared invalid. This is one of the example. If it is the disturbing bug, how it will be, if you have taken the example of the ATM, the ATM will won't give the money, but my credit card declared, if it will give the transaction like, my credit card is declared invalid. Okay. Then if it is serious, it closes the track of transactions, not just the transaction itself, but the fact of the transaction occurs, accountability is lost, it lost its accountability. Okay. When if it is serious, when that particular bug consequence is serious, then what we will do is, it loses the track of its transactions, not just the transaction itself, but the fact that the transaction occurs, accountability is lost. Okay. Next one, see, if it is very serious, then what that particular person will do is, the bug causes the system to do the wrong transactions. Whenever these people are going to perform the wrong instead of losing their paycheck, the system credits it to the another account or converts the deposit to the withdrawals. What it will do is, it will converts the credits into the another account, or converts the deposits to the, it will converts the deposits to the withdrawals. Okay. Then if it is extreme, the problems aren't limited or limited to a few users, or to a few transaction types. They are frequent and arbitrary instead of sporadic for usual cases. Okay. If it is extreme like that. Okay. Then if it is intolerable, the long term unrecoverable corruption of the database occurs, and the corruption is easily discovered. Serious consideration is given to the shutting system down. Here the serious consideration will be taken to the system shutting down. Then if it is catastrophic, the decision to that shutdown is taken out of hands because the system fails. Because of the system failure, the decision should be the catastrophic. Okay. Then if it is infectious, what can be the worst failed system than the one corrupt the other systems, even though, okay, it does not fail itself, it eradicates the physical system environment that melts the nuclear reactor starts for. See, it is giving the example that it melts the nuclear reactors and it starts the war. See, these are the some of the taxonomies related to bug. There is no correct way to categorize the bugs. We can't say that this bugs related to this category. Bug doesn't having any category, but because based upon our requirements, we categorized that into the different types. A given bug can be put into any other category depending upon its history and the programmer's state of mind. Based upon the programmer's state of mind and depending upon the category, the bug can be put into the another category based upon the history and programmer state of mind. Okay. The main categories are requirements, features and functionality bugs. First one is requirement bug, next one is feature and functionality bug, next one is structural bug, and next one is data bug, and next one is coding bug, and next one is interface integration and system bug, and next one is test and test design bugs. These are the different types of bugs that we are taking here. Next one, see, these are the first one we are discussing here. If those are requirements and features bugs, here it will include uh, first one requirements and specification bugs, next one is feature bugs, next one is future interaction bugs, next one is initialization bugs. In various category in requirements and future functionality bugs also, we are having these many types of categories. First category is requirement and specification bugs. Whenever you are gathering the requirements and we are specifying those requirements, at that time the bug will be erased. At some features the bug will be erased. Whenever we are interacting with that particular features, sometimes the bug may be erased. At the time of initialization also the bug may be erased. Next one, at the time of data flow the bug may be erased. Then the control and sequence, whenever the process control is going, at that time at control and sequence bugs arises at the system level. Okay, next one is resource and management problems. Resource and management problems are, these are the things which are related to the somewhat related to the resource problems or management problems. Sometimes they are introducing some types of the difficult things, just like that. Okay, next one is interaction bugs. Interaction bugs, or whenever the user is going to interact with bug, at times that if that particular user is going to raise some bug, we can say that one as interaction bug. Next one is the system bugs. From the system side, the user is getting this particular bug. Next one, first one, see here what they are telling about the requirements and specification bugs is, requirements and specification bugs are developed from that can be incomplete or ambiguous. Whenever that requirement is incomplete or ambiguous means what, it is unclear. Okay, whenever these requirements and specifications are ambiguous and unclear, then we can say that one at that time the bug may be erased. If it is self contradictory or that can be misunderstood, whenever the particular customer and the user are discussing with each other, then if it is self contradictory, that means it may be misunderstood or impossible to understand. At that time the bug may be erased. Then the specification do not have, suppose whenever the specifications, or we are mentioning the specifications and they don't have flaws in them, may change while the design is in progress. See whether while the design is in progress, the features are added, modified and deleted. See what are the features that we are adding, what are the features that we are modifying, and what are the features that we are deleting here. That we have to maintain the specifications, otherwise the bug may be erased there. Next, sometimes we may have chance to get forget, then at that time the bug may be erased. Next one, the requirements especially as expressed in the specifications are a major source of expensive. See if it is a major source, we can say if it is, or if it is expensive bugs, then we can say it at that time the bug may be erased. The range is from few percent. If it is more than the, depending on the application and environment, then we can say that particular bug is erased. Suppose the what hurts about the more bugs as if they are earliest to invade and the system at last to leave. Suppose if we are interacting with that particular thing, sometimes we may have to leave that particular bug. Okay, next one, these are the feature bugs. Specification problems usually create the corresponding feature problems. Suppose a feature can be wrong or missing or superfluous. A missing feature or case of easier to detect and correct. The wrong feature could have the deep design implications. Okay, a wrong feature could have the deep design implications, but a right feature could have the right design to implications. The removing the features might complicate the software, consume more resource and foster more bugs. Okay, next, then these are the feature interaction bugs. Providing correct, clear and implementable and testable feature specification is not enough. Whether you are providing the correct, clear, implementable, testable, these are not correct, but what are the feature usually come into the groups or related features, then you have to keep this on the mind. And here the features usually come in the groups or related features. The features may be the interaction features or group usually will be tested. The problem is unpredictable. Here the problem is unpredictable. Then the interaction between the feature groups and between the individual features. For example, our telephone is provided with the call holding and call forwarding. The interaction between the two features must have the bugs. Here, if you are providing if you are providing call holding and call forwarding, the interaction between these two features may have the bugs, may have the chance to get the bugs. Next one, every application has its peculiar set of features. Each and every application has its peculiar set of features and much bigger than the set of unspecified features. It is much specified than feature interaction potentials, and therefore it results in the feature interaction bugs. And next one is, see, if it is a initialization bugs are more common. Initialization bugs can be improper or superfluous, that is, if it is overflowing through the entire concept, or the bugs are generally harmful. Here these bugs are very harmful, but then which will affect the performance of the particular software. Then what are the typical initialization bugs include? Let us see what are the typical initialization bugs include. Forgetting to initialize the variables before the first use. Before the first using itself, you have to forget the initialization. The variables before first use, assuming that they are initialized, you have to assume that they are already initialized elsewhere. Initializing to the wrong format, we are initializing it into the wrong format. Representation or based upon the representation and type, etc., that we have to keep it on mind. Next one is explicit declarations, whether it is implicit or explicit. Explicit declaration of all the variables as in Pascal can reduce some initialization problems. See, explicitly we are declaring some variables in some examples like Pascal, they can reduce some initialization problems. See, whether in a program based upon the programming languages also we can reduce the initialization problem. Suppose in the programming language called Pascal, there we can easily we can forget to initialize, but the variables before first you are using, you have to assume that they are initialized, whether you have to assume it has initialized anywhere or not, and they are initializing to the wrong format, or they are represented anywhere, you have to check it once. Next one is, it is whether it is less harmful or if it is affecting any type of performance here, that one also you have to consider. Here the initialization bugs can have the proper and improper superflows. The superflows bugs are generally less harmful. See, we doesn't having any harm in these types of bugs, but when it is a typical initialization bug, suppose if it is a typical initialization bugs, you have to forget to initialize the variables before first use, assuming that they are initialized elsewhere. Okay, whether they have initialized anywhere or initializing to the wrong format, just you have to keep it on that mind. Then the representation and type, etc. Then explicit declaration of all the variables, we have to declare the explicit declaration of all the variables as in the Pascal, or you can reduce some initialization problems. We can reduce these types of initialization problems. Okay. Next, these are the data flow bugs and anomalies. Here, the most of the initialization bugs are the special case of data flow anomalies. Based upon the data flow anomalies, most of the initialization bugs are in the special case. Why? Because whenever the data flow is in the whenever the user is performing some data flow, most of the data is having some initialization bugs itself. At the time of initialization, these things are having some bugs. Just like that, here the process is happening there. Next one, the data flow occurs where there is a path. If actually the data flow bug occurs if there is a path along with which we expect to do something. See, if we are expected to do something unreasonable with the data, if it is not related to data, then we are expected to do something, then the data flow anomaly path along it occurs, such as using an uninitialized variable. If you are using some uninitialized variable, or attempting to use a variable before it exists. If you are attempting to use a variable and modifying, then not sorting or using the result, or initializing twice without an intermediate use. Without any intermediate use, suppose you are using an uninitialized variable, that variable is not uninitialized, సపోజ్ ద వేరియబుల్ని మనం డిక్లేర్ చేయలేదు. we are attempting to use that particular type of data. Suppose if where the variable exists, if you are trying to use that data without initialization, how you can use that data? Yes or no? Without initializing that, how you can use that particular data? See, here the most of the initialization bugs are the special case, which are related to some data flow anomalies. These are related to data flow anomalies. But data flow anomaly occurs only when there is a path. If there is a path along with which we expect to do something, then it is unreasonable with data, such as if you are using an uninitialized variable. Suppose if you are using some uninitialized variable, then if you are attempting to use a variable before it exists, then you have to modify it, and the and the not storing or using the result, or initializing twice without an intermediate use. Okay, we are going to initializing that thing twice without an intermediate use. Okay, without any intermediate use, we are going to initialize that particular variable twice. At this particular time, the data flow bugs and anomalies, we are having the chance to get the data flow bugs and anomalies. Next one, this is the major thing in the control and sequence bugs here. These bugs include ignored timing, assuming that we are going to assume that events occur in a specified sequence, but working on data before all the data have arrived from the disk, awaiting an impossible combination of prerequisites, missing, wrong, redundant or superfluous process. But the remedy for those bugs is highly structured and sequence control. Here we are going to specialize the internal sequence control mechanisms are helpful. Some of the mechanisms are helpful. See, here in the control and sequence bugs, majorly here these types of bugs are including here. First one is it is going to ignore the time. Next one is it is assuming that events occurred in a specified sequence. In a sequence, the events is occurring there. Here working on a data before all the data have arrived from the disk. Before arriving from the disk, we have to work on the data. Then we have to wait for an impossible combination. If it is a possible combination or if it is an impossible combination, we have to wait for the prerequisites. Next one is missing, wrong or redundant superfluous process steps. See, if it is having wrong or redundant, or if it is if it some type of data is missed, or if it is redundant, it is not related to that particular data, and if it is superfluous, then that particular process steps will be decreased at the time of working on the data. Before itself it is arrived from the disk, and we are waiting for the if it is before itself it is getting means it is an impossible combination, then what it will happen, because of that we will get the prerequisites, and some data missing, and wrong data you will get from that, and some unredundant data you will get, and some superflows, and these are the several combinations that we'll get when the data is occurred before we are working from the disk. Okay, data is occurred from the disk before we are working. So when will occur from this, we can say when it will occur if you have ignore any timing, then if you are going to assume any events occurred in the specified sequence, at this particular time it will happen. Okay, then the remedy for these bugs is highly structured and it is sequence control. Okay, specialized internal sequence control mechanisms are here. These type of mechanisms are helpful. Only these many types of mechanisms are helpful here. Then what are the resource and management problems? Here this is a major thing. Here whenever the resource and management problems occurs, it will take a lot of time to resolve that particular problem. See, the memory is subdivided into dynamically allocated resources. See, what are the memory that we have allocated for our particular development, that is subdivided dynamically it is subdivided for the allocated resources such as buffer blocks, queue blocks, task control blocks, and overlay buffers. Based upon this, it will subdivides dynamically, such as buffer blocks, queue blocks, task control blocks, and overlay blocks. Okay. Next, external mass storage units such as disks. We are having some mass storage devices now. From disks also we can store the data. Those also subdivide into memory resource pools. Okay, some resource management and usage bugs are there. They are required to the required resource is not obtained, but wrong resource should be used. The resource is already in use and a resource is a deadlock, etc. These are the things that will be mostly happen. Then what are the resource management remedies? These are the some of the resource management remedies here. The design remedy that prevents the bugs is always a preferable to test. See, it is always it should be preferable to test. Okay, the design it will always that discovers them. Okay, the design remedy in resource management is to keep the resource in a simple structure simple. The fewest different kinds of resources is the fewest pools, and no private resource management. It does not having any type of private resource management. Okay. Next one is interaction bugs. Here these types of bugs having to do with the integration of with these interfaces between working and tested components. If you are having both working and tested components, we are having the integration and testing bugs. These bugs results from the inconsistencies or incompatibilities between the components. But the communication methods includes, these are the communication methods. It includes data structures, call sequences, registers, semaphores, communication links. What are the integrated part that we are using here? Here, see, first of all you have to think that here what are the types of integrating paths that we are using. Then the communication methods include, the communication methods that we include in the data structure is, first one is call sequence, next one is registers, next one is semaphores, next one is communication links, and next one is protocols and results in the integration bugs. Okay, these are the communication methods that include the data structures. Next one is, the integration bugs do not constitute a big bug category. It does not constitute a big bug category. They are expensive category. They are very expensive category because they doesn't force any changes in the several components or data structures. Here the bugs results from the inconsistencies or incompatibilities between the components. In between the components, here the inconsistencies and incompatibilities may happen. Here the communication methods include the data structures, call sequences, registers, semaphores, and communication links. All these are happened here. But the interaction bugs do not constitute a big bug category. They are expensive in category because they are usually caught late in game because they force the changes in several components or data structures. Here this is the thing that we have to keep it on the mind when you are this comes under the interaction bugs. See, interaction bugs, here it will get the inconsistencies, or incompatibilities between the components. In between the components it will get the inconsistencies and incompatibilities. Next one, system bugs. System bugs, it will cover all kinds of bugs that cannot be ascribed or to a component or to their simple interactions, but result from the totality of interactions between many components such as programs, data, hardware, and operating systems. Here the system bugs covering all kinds of bugs but cannot be ascribed to a component or to the simple interactions, but the result from the totally it is related to the system bug. Here these are not frequent, these are infrequent. Only 1.7% the base, because if our system is very perfect, no need to get any type of bug, but it may have the chance to get 1.7% from the system side. There is nothing we have to bother about that. We have already said that only 1.7%. Okay, these are infrequent, these are not frequent, but often found only after the system has been fielded. Okay, this is something about today's class. In the tomorrow's class we are going to continue the next topic. Okay, please stay in line that I have to take the attendance.